He's a bit of a local celebrity, believe it or not. He's a raconteur, he's a philanthropist, he's got an A-level in electronics, but he couldn't fix that fucking plug, could he? Did you pass it or what? He hasn't got an A-level, he's a liar. Legend has it his shadow once killed a dog. Man of size, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please, starting with Cheese Man. Cheese Man, let's start the round of applause. He's just going to do whatever he fucking wants this man. He don't give a shit. He's turned up, he's out of the cheese. Let's go, keep going. It's Russel Creemer!
I normally start with a dubious, sorry I'm late for some reason, but sorry I'm late. The other reason I was late today is I burnt my cock. On the iron again. Now I've ironed naked for a very long time. It's never caused me a problem, but just a few weeks ago my wife, cheapskate that she is, hello, bought me a new ironing board, and it's only got 2 levels on it. Now, the first level is about a foot off the floor. So I finished the shower, I thought I could iron the shirt for work. I'll try it on level 1. And there I was naked, imagine if you would. So, I was there, quite high up in the air, just trying to iron the shirt, about a foot off the floor. And I sat up and I looked at my cat, I looked at my wife and I thought, when I stroke my cat by its tail, it raises its bone to receive the male penis. And then I realised that my cat's a boy. So I tried the, sorry buddy. So I tried the second level, which after my lovely shower, I soon found out was the exact level as my post-shower massive penis. So running the iron down the ironing board, and I burned quite heavily. What the doctor told me later on that day was called, what did he call the bell end. Yeah. Not only was that excruciatingly painful, but it did leave a kind of nice smell of cheesy wotsits. Now my friend Jamie, who's hosting the night tonight, amazingly talked about carrier bags earlier, and I thought a bit about carrier bags, so I went home while Jamie was on, nothing to do with that, and I spoke to my carrier bags, and I didn't realise that there's actually a hierarchy. There's a massive hierarchy in carrier bags. So you've got your normal carrier bags, and then you've got a carrier bag, which is the carrier bag that holds the carrier bags. And this goes on for a while, you put the carrier bags in, then you get a better carrier bag, and that becomes a new carrier bag, and that goes on for a while. Then you've got a carrier bag, which becomes a carrier bag, and then all the other carrier bags go in that. And this was going well. All my carrier bags told me until there was a bag for life. That ruined everything. So, also as Jamie was on, I decided to fly over to America. They don't have carrier bags in America. They have paper bags, little paper bags. So I got talking to a little paper bag. I said, "How's life? I have carrier bags at home," but he was just a little paper bag, and he said, "It's tough. I've got AIDS." What? You're just a little paper bag. I said, "How did this happen?" He goes, "Well, I went to the doctor and I said I wasn't feeling very well. And he tested me and he said I got AIDS." So I said, what happened then? The little paper bag said, I spoke to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, are you a gay paper bag? Could you have got it from being gay?" And the paper bag went, "No, I'm just a little paper bag. Of course I'm, Do you inject drugs?" And the paper bag went, "No, I don't inject drugs." "Okay, have you been to India?" No, I haven't been to India. Just a little paper bag. And then the doctor in America went online and back to him and goes, "I can see what's wrong. Looks like your parents are carriers." So I was 12 years old, and that's when I realised that my life was going downhill. I was a very unlucky boy. I took my bike, I rode it to the top of a really big hill, and I rode it down really, really fast with my friends, and I rode right into the back of a sheep. Now, I was fine. I was completely fine, apart from the fact I had a 3-inch gash in my bollocks, which may surprise you, because I didn't think my bollocks was big enough to hold said 3-inch gash, but there I was in hospital, lying there with my bollocks out and my cock out and my mum holding my hand. And she leaned over and she goes, of all the things she could have said as my mum, she goes, "Oh my God, you've got into puberty." I could see through there, so thanks mum for that. And it's funny because 2 years later I went to her hospital, she's a nurse, I was having an operation on my nose. Which you can probably see is beautiful now, but because my mum was a nurse, I had a 6-bedroom ward all to myself. So it was night, it was dark, I was 14 years old, I had a ward to myself, I was looking around, there was no one around in the corridor. So I did what any boy would do when he was 14 years old. I walked out, I went to the sink, medical sink, filled my left hand full of soap, moved the mic to my right hand, filled the right hand full of soap, went back to bed, had one of the best wanks I've ever had. And as I finished and realised I had soap all over my hands and stuff over my tummy, I leaned over and I got some tissue and I wiped it off my tummy. And then I opened my eyes and I looked over the doorway of the ward and there was this nurse, a very hot nurse, and a nurse that my mum works very close to. And she looked at me and she went, and walked off. And to this day, I don't know whether she ever told my mum. So there's no time like the present. Mum, did she ever tell you? So after being caught masturbating in hospital, I went to school. Obviously I was going to school. I was bullied a lot in school, as I'm sure you can imagine. I always promised I'd never do this, but why not? Let's do it tonight. Cheer if you've been bullied! Yeah! So I was bullied in school and I said to my mum, again, I'm being bullied in school. Every time I go to school, this kid goes, "Oh, you fucking retard, you fat boy," just picked on me all the time, fat boy, retard, fat boy, retard. And then my mum said, "Look, you just gotta stand up to him." So I went into school, I did what my mum said, sure enough, fat boy, roly boy. So I went over him, I grabbed his wheelchair, I walked over to the lake and I poured him right into it. And he hasn't bullied me ever again. Which is nice, but I got a horrible letter home about his Down syndrome. So, hands up, you've been to university. I went to university. I won't do that again, I hate that. So I went to university, I started going out with this girl. She was a tennis player, we had a great time, and we started going out. I'd start off by going to her house, she'd come to my house. I go to her house, she'd go over to my house, I go over to her. She'd come over to my house, I'd go over to her house. Now this went on for a while. A few people said we were courting. I thought, I've got to tell her how I feel. So that day I went over to her house. That was a good, it was like an ace night. And I sat her down and I said, I told her how I felt. And she looked at me in absolute disdain and dumped me down on the spot. So a little warning to you all, that love means nothing to them. So I talked about my wife a little bit earlier. We met in a pub just down the road. I'd never met her before. We just started talking. We got really, really good. We worked really well. And she invited me back to her house, which was nice. She sat me in the bedroom and said, "I'm going to get into something more comfortable. Just sit there." So I turned the light on and I looked at her. I was like, "Fuck me." Teddy bears everywhere. Massive teddy bears, smaller teddy bears all looking at me, smaller teddy bears all looking at me, teddy bears are smaller teddy bears. So Ebbet actually walked in and I saw a little negligee, so it was fine. I didn't worry about the teddy bears anymore, and we then spent, the most amazing night together. And it was like, we went on until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I was so proud of myself. So proud of myself. And I felt confident enough to go, hello, good morning. How was that for you? He said, it was all right. You can pick anything from the bottom row. Well, it worked. We got married, and she arranged a honeymoon. That was the only thing she arranged. I arranged the whole wedding, and I say she arranged the honeymoon. She arranged the hotel, the first hotel in Saigon, in Vietnam. Lovely place. I've done an interview there. So we get a 16-hour flight. We land. Our taxi ride to get to the hotel, one of the poshest hotels in Vietnam. Here it is. The only thing my wife's organised when we get there. Hi there, Russel Creemer, married. It's nice that he had a mic there. For me to hit with my ring. And I said, yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Creemer, our honeymoon suite. And he goes, we've got a twin room booked for you. Twin room? The only thing you've got to do for this whole honeymoon is book this hotel, and you booked a twin room. Okay. But it did end up that the only fun I had in any hot, wet, smelly, moist tunnels were tunnels that were built by the Viet Cong in the late 1968. And true to form, I had to leave that after 30 seconds as well. Thank you very much.